I've shared the screen again. I hope it's visible. Okay. So the command for checking the minimum connecting time is DCT. DCT. You can just enter DCT. System will give you the fill-in format, a form in the cryptic form. Cryptic means in the command format. It doesn't come in the graphic form. A fill-in form would come and you will have to fill the destination, the transit point here. Whenever you are filling up the form, just be careful. There are 4 dots here. And the city code is always 3-letter. Am I right? City code or the airport code. So you have to start typing from here. And all the 3 dots should vanish after that. Otherwise, you would not get the right answer. It's a 3-letter code. 4 dots are written. So start writing after the first dot. So for example, you want to take a journey. Okay, let's take this example only, which we just discussed, Delhi. I hope you are able to make a point, a note that all the 3 dots are vanished now. The 3 dots are gone. Okay, so you are originating your journey from Delhi and you are taking transit at Istanbul. So code of Istanbul is IST. It would always be better if you type the specific airport code. In Istanbul, we have 2 main airports. One is IST and one is SAW. The 2 main airports. Most of the times for the international journeys, the transit in Istanbul is to IST. That is why I've written IST. But when you are taking domestic journeys, for example, you have a flight Delhi to Istanbul, and then you have a flight from Istanbul to, for example, Izmir. Izmir is also one of the cities in Turkey. So then just check with both IST also and SAW airport also, because SAW is one of the major airports in Turkey, but majorly it serves domestic journeys. International also for European region only, and for domestic, yes, it is. Okay, suppose your destination is New York, so it's NYC. So I've filled up 3 things. So I'm just going to enter like this only, and later I'll tell you how we can insert other things also, like carrier, airline, etc. So I'm going to enter. So because I did not mention anything, so system will give me all the minimum connecting time options for all the airlines which are serving from that airport, all the airlines which depart from Delhi, which reaches Istanbul, and then from Istanbul to all the journeys, which all the airlines which go to New York. It will show me domestic to domestic also, international to domestic, everything, because I did not make it specific. I had just mentioned the 3 codes in the fill-in format, which is origin, destination, and the transit point. So let's start understanding from the very first line, which is minimum connecting timetable for Istanbul, IST. It means it is only for Istanbul, which you specified also. I don't think I need to explain you this. This is self-explanatory. Do I need to explain you this? Okay. Next is standard times. The standard times are these. So you can by default always consider standard times also. But I'll tell you how you can make your entry more specific and come back to the exact answer or exact time of layover. So DD here stands for domestic to domestic. It means the first flight is domestic and your next journey is also domestic, right? So this says that for DD, for domestic to domestic connection, you need to maintain a layover, minimum connecting time for 30 minutes. 00.30 means 30 minutes. The clock here specify hours and minutes only. Clock doesn't specify seconds. Next is DI. DI means domestic to international. It means first connection is domestic and next is international. These are the standard timings, standard duration which you have to keep for all the journeys at Istanbul airport. This is not specifying any journey which is coming from Delhi and which is departing towards New York. The time which is written on the top line is just the standard timings for originating from any airport, arriving at any airport, and transiting from IST Istanbul airport. So DI is 1 hour 15 minutes. It means you need to maintain a layover time, the connecting time of 1 hour 15 minutes. Next is ID, which means the first is the international connection and next is the domestic connection. So you need to maintain 1 hour 30 minutes, and for international to international 1 hour 15 minutes. See, domestic to domestic connection, the time is always less because you don't have to pass through the immigration. I hope it is getting clear to you, because your visa won't be checked because it's a domestic to domestic connection. Obviously, times would be greater at domestic to international or international to domestic, because you have to clear another level at the airport, which is immigration. Again, II would be less. II would be less because it's international to international, right? So you have already cleared the immigration at the first point, right? I hope this particular standard timings are cleared with everyone. The same concept goes for Amadeus also. Whenever we would do Amadeus back, the same concept goes there also. It's similar kind of a screen. Obviously, the command to start minimum connecting time to get the display is different, but the display is almost same like this. So this is one command which is similar in both the GDS systems. So now here it's written DI. It means the connection type. And CC is carrier. CC means carrier. The airline carrier. Airline to airline we call carrier as well, as I told you earlier also. C means maybe codeshare is applied or not. OP is operating airline, right? FL is the flight range. FLT range means flight range. There can be flight range also sometimes mentioned. Means the airline specific numbers also could be mentioned here. Then this is terminal. This is city. These things are there which are hardly mentioned. Terminals would hardly be mentioned in case of international journeys, because sometimes the terminals also changes. So that is why that specific information is never found here. But the time which you find here is actually the approximate timing which you should keep while making the next onward connection. And if you have a family, like if you have a child also in the family, infant also in the family, which is going to travel with the connecting flight, my advice would always be to keep more time than what is mentioned here, right? Because with child, with the infant, there are a lot of other things also. They have to go to washroom, etc. You are reaching boarding gate late because child fell off or infant is cranky, whatever, right? So always keep a half an hour extra than what is mentioned here in case a family is traveling. In case it is adults, you can always do that. Okay, so these are dates. Dates are not valid here. Okay, SUPP means the information is suppressed. You are getting the information. It means information is being given. It is not suppressed by the system. It means the system is having the MCT, minimum connecting time information. So for a domestic to domestic, see, our connection is not domestic to domestic. Our journey is starting from Delhi, reaching Istanbul. It means it's an international connection. Am I right? It's an international connection, right? And next journey is also international, which is Istanbul to New York. So we are going to skip this, which is DD, because it is not valid for us, because ours is an international to international connection. So we'll do MD, move to next of the page. Again, you will have to do MD. For us, it's a II connection, which would be shown in the last. See, because we did not specify airline, we did not specify other details. That is why system gave us all the information about IST airport, all the flights which are arriving at IST airport, and all the flights which are departing from IST airport. Right? See, there are so many flights which are departing from IST. If you want specific answer, then I'm going to tell you commands for specific answers also. I'm just trying to show you what kind of information and how information is shown in the fill-in format. See, II has started coming. Suppose you are taking first journey by UA airline, code shared with LH. It means operating airline will be LH, issuing airline will be UA. I hope it's understood. You already know what code share is. Sareen Chaudhary, I cannot see you. The next airline is also UA, and it's a code shared with TK. So it means TK will fly, TK will be the operating airline, UA will be, the ticket will be issued. The information is suppressed. It means we are not having the information. Suppressed means the information is not there currently with the Galileo system. Okay, suppose first journey is Turkish airline, operating airline is also Turkish airline, issuing is also TK, because here it's mentioned N means it is not a codeshare airline. I hope it's understood. So from Delhi to Istanbul, you will be flying on Turkish airline. Ticket will also be issued on Turkish airline. The next would be Turkish airline. From Istanbul to New York, ticket will be issued on Turkish airline, and you would fly on any airline, which is airline of USA. So you need to maintain minimum connecting time of 1 hour 45 minutes. I hope it's understood. So this is the right answer for you if you are taking Turkish airline. This is PK. PK is actually Pakistan Airlines, but I don't know why it is showing Pakistan. From Delhi, it cannot be Pakistan Airlines. Okay, it's showing 2 hours gap. The minimum connecting time should be 2 hours. And then let's move ahead. Then you have Pegasus Airline. Going Pegasus and the onward journey also by Pegasus. So it's 1 hour. Whenever it is same airline, gap would be less. Always you can keep a less minimum connecting time because the immigration would be cleared at very first point. Otherwise also with the same airline, it flies from same terminal, right? And the gates are also closer. So that is why the minimum connecting time would be less. Let's take this example, which is AZ, which is Alitalia. AZ is Alitalia Airline, which is airline of Italy. So your first journey would be by Alitalia Airline, Delhi to Istanbul. Next would be Pegasus Airline, PC, which is actually the airline of Istanbul only. So gap is, the time you have to maintain is 1 hour 30 minutes. The time has increased. Whenever airlines are different, there would definitely be more connection time required in comparison to the similar airlines, the same airlines. When I say similar, I mean code share actually. I hope it is clear with everyone. So if you get a table like this, it becomes really difficult to move to end of the screen. Most of the times we check minimum connecting times for the journeys which are DI, ID or II. DI means domestic international or international domestic and then international international. So now coming to a specific airport. Suppose you wish to check. Okay, let me first tell you how to fill more details. So you're originating from Delhi. You are transiting from Istanbul. Okay, let me take some different examples of cities. We have done Delhi, Istanbul. Okay. Suppose you are originating from your journey from, for example, Chicago, and you want to transit, for example, from San Francisco, and your destination, for example, is Vancouver. I hope it's understood. Chicago is one corner of USA, San Francisco is other corner, and Vancouver is another place, which is Canada. Suppose you want a carrier which is UA, and outbound you want, for example, with maybe UA again, which is United Airlines. Codeshare, yes, you want, always allow codeshare because you get more options then. Okay, you can leave others as blank. So we enter. So I am getting this. So domestic to domestic connection. It is suppressed. Then you have domestic to domestic for other airlines also, because we mentioned code shares. So you are getting a lot of examples, and you have a flight range also mentioned. It means only flight number 2000 to 2499 for these flights only you have to maintain this gap, this connection time. For other airlines, the time could be lesser or more also. For Delta to Delta, you have to maintain a connection time of 30 minutes. I hope it is clear with everyone. Okay. Now going to more commands related to this minimum connecting time. Suppose you want to check minimum connecting time for certain airport only. So we just type airport. DCT is the command. LHE is the code of Lahore Airport. Lahore is in Pakistan. So if you want to just check the minimum connecting time for all the airlines, originating from anywhere, departing to anywhere, but transiting from Lahore, so you get the entire data again. So you can use this command also. If you are finding difficulty in the fill-in format, you can use this command also. This command is exactly same as the fill-in format. So you get here for all the airlines, starting from domestic to DI, then ID and II. Okay. Now coming to your specific requirement. Suppose you want to depart from Lahore, right, for international to international connection, for example, by only Pakistan Airlines. So this command says that you want minimum connecting time for Lahore Airport, right, for international to international connection for Pakistan Airlines, right. This is very specific. You may require this kind of information. So we click enter. So we get all the information for Pakistan Airlines first, and then other airlines would also follow. Code share also, and not code share also, everything. So for international to international connection, arriving from anywhere, See, flight can arrive from anywhere to Lahore. It may arrive from New York. It may arrive from Istanbul. It may arrive from Japan, anywhere. And the next flight is also Pakistan Airline. PK is the code of Pakistan Airline. So you have to maintain a MCT. MCT means minimum connecting time of 2 hours in this case. I hope it is clear. Particular example.
Delhi to Ottawa.
Delhi to Ottawa. Okay. Okay. So first we need to have code of Ottawa. Anyone knows code of Ottawa? No one? Okay. So it's YIF, which is in Canada, Ontario. So we do DCT, Delhi to Ottawa, via which point? Via, Sareen, via which city you want to go? Anyone?
Toronto maybe.
Okay, Toronto. So we write YTO, DCT, YTO, code of Toronto is YTO. Okay, you don't want to mention airlines, you can skip airlines also. If you wish to have for the airlines, you wish airline to give you options, you can just not write the airlines. So origin is from Delhi, or Delhi, and you are reaching. Your destination is Ottawa, which is YIF. Sorry, I typed the wrong command, which is DCT, YTO, ODEL, and destination is Ottawa. It means DYIF. I hope command is clear. I have not mentioned any airline here. So let system give us the airline. So system has given us domestic to domestic connection also, DI also, ID also. In this case, ID would be valid for us because we are going from Delhi to Toronto, and next flight from Toronto to Ottawa is a domestic journey because both these cities are in Canada. So this would work, which is 1 hour 30 minutes. So whichever airline you are taking, you need to maintain a standard gap of 1 hour 30 minutes. So you take any flight from Delhi to Toronto. For example, you take Air Canada, right? And from Toronto to Ottawa, maybe you are taking the domestic airline, which is Porter Airlines. Just giving you example of airlines. So you need to maintain a gap of 1 hour 30 minutes. Clear? I hope you got your answer, Sareen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
So should we move to next command in the series? So this is DCT is finished, but I would like to cover. See, suppose you have made a connection. How would you check is your itinerary okay or not? This is the standalone entry you have to make outside the PNR. This is the minimum connecting time you can check outside your PNR. But what about the PNR? There should be some command to check if your itinerary is okay or not, right? I'm taking 10 July, for example, from Hanoi to Toronto. Okay. I'll do multiple PNRs. I'll start multiple PNRs to check the minimum connecting time. Okay, let me take this option, which is this journey, which is Hanoi to Seoul, and then Seoul to YYZ Toronto. Clear? So I'm picking up this journey. So I suppose want 2 seats. We have Y class available here, then Y class available here also. So I do Y9 and Y10, right? I hope command is clear. I'm trying to pick up a connecting flight. See, this is the right command. Another command for the same connecting flight if you want to pick up is Y9 star. It means you want to pick up Y class in this segment also and the next connecting flight also in the pair. If you think it is difficult, then you can use this command, which I think is easier, right? Okay, so let me also use this one. So on the left hand side, you can see that my journey is picked one, Hanoi to Seoul and then Seoul to Toronto. So if you want to check if my connection, my PNR, we are going to start a PNR. Before we start building the PNR, we must check if my command is okay or not. Let me just do *R to retrieve my PNR. I did this just to remove so much of availability screen, the large availability screen. So to check here, I do @empty. @empty will check if my itinerary is okay or not. All connections valid. I hope it's clear. It means we are building the correct journey the time, another one, where the connection is not valid. Let me do 10 July again, from Frankfurt to, for example, LON, London. So it's 1840. If I want to see more options. Okay. 1840. So let me take this option, which is 21st. It is flying at, no, 1340. Okay. Let me take this one, which is 1400 hours. I'm reaching at 1340, means I'm reaching at 1:40 p.m. and I'm trying to book my next journey for 2 p.m. It should show me error, right? So let's do that. Let me type this. Let me sell this itinerary, which is N2, and I want this, which is Y9. In Y class, there are no seats available. No, N2, Y9. Okay. Wait list is also closed. Let's take more options. See, when you're building up connections, this is what actually happens, because you're trying to book a flight which is maintaining the gap. So what I'm doing is actually the real scenario only, wherein you will have to wait to find out the real connection which you want. So you have to keep my time into your consideration. Let's take. I deliberately want to do a mistake, so that is why I want a wrong flight. N1. And let me take again this one, J class, line number 9. Okay, so this has been booked. So let's come back to the PNR first. So I hope the PNR is clear to you. We are taking a flight from Bangalore to Delhi on 10th of July, which is reaching Delhi at 8:55, means 9 a.m. Then on the same day, we are taking the onward flight from Delhi to Frankfurt, which starts at 13:40 and which reaches at 18:40. And then on 10th of July only, I picked up a flight from Frankfurt to LHR for 2 p.m. I am not even reaching Frankfurt at 2 p.m. How can I take a flight at 2 p.m.? I hope you are getting me. Just see here. Let me use marker. See here very, very carefully. You are starting from Delhi at 13:40 and you are reaching Frankfurt at 18:40. And next, then you are starting from Frankfurt at 1400 hours. Then you are already in transit. How can you take the next flight? I hope you are able to understand. I have picked up a very, very wrong flight. Mumika Sareen Sazat, I hope it is clear. Aftab, I can see is nodding head. Okay. Okay. So let me just now. I would need to share this screen again. Just. So let's see what system shows us. I check the minimum connecting time. See, you get the error. Check date and time continuity segment at line number 3. It means segment 3 is not correct. System is giving you that you need to check time and date for segment 3. This is one error you could get. Other error is please check segments. Only this also you could get if there is problem between multiple segments. So system will not give you error while you are booking the flight. System will make your PNR also. Let me make the PNR also. Most of the time, system will not even interfere with your PNR designing. Let me just do that for you with the minimum options. I'm making it fast now because you already know how to create a PNR. See, system is giving me error. But it is not necessary that all system will always give you. It is all dependent upon the airlines you choose. But your PNR is built up, right? See carefully, your PNR बन गया है आपका बहुत अच्छे से. System में कोई भी error नहीं दिया है आपको, right? You would think, okay, you are working perfectly fine. You have got the PNR also, but this will never get confirmed. Airline will never revert you with their own PNR number because your system is not maintaining the MCT. You will keep on waiting that your system is there, but you would never be able to issue the ticket. PNR